architects that are not ready for the future may be replaced by AI. The future is not just coming, the future is already here with us. Change is the only constant thing, and it must be embraced and must be prepared for the future. Dr. Vivian and the panelists will be discussing the future with us today. Let's make it engaging, let's make it interactive, let's make it smart. Let it not be theoretical, let it be practical. How can we really prepare for the future?
Very few realize where we are, and even those that realize where we are in the future of work are willing to do anything about it. So that the NIA is stepping out forward, to run this race in ensuring that we realize where we are right now in the world and are willing to embrace it and bring it to the realization of many in the profession. I think it's laudable. The digital natives, 1997 to 2015. Wow, please take a look around. Now you have an understanding of the group of people that are in the workplace as at today. But you also will see that it's not just them. We also have the Gen X, the Gen Y, and the Gen Zs. Now, if you see a red box there, that shows you that the later parts of the Gen X are in the workplace. The earlier parts are gradually retiring. The Gen Zs, the earlier parts, are in the workplace. Pause for a moment and look at the characteristics of the people that are in the workplace and begin to appreciate and realize what kind of cultural mix we have. The truth is, we cannot shy away from it. The future is here. More and more of our young architects are going out there and practicing architecture on these platforms. The question is, are we ready for what the challenges that it throws up? How would you feel? I saw the other day a design I had done. I saw it with someone else's name online. And I looked at it and said, I know this design. I did this design. In fact, this building is standing. The young man just picked the design, changed the name, and submitted it to another client. And this is what is happening now. Because why? We're putting our drawings in the cloud. And once they're in the cloud, anybody can take it. When you collaborate, things like this happen. There are many other issues that are associated. Intellectual property. Who owns it? Is it the freelancer? Is it the person who's paying you? Is it your boss in the office? When you start using your organization's templates to do jobs online, are there ethical issues, concerns with that? The people who are engaging you online are doing that because they want a good price. Interestingly, as you work online, you compete to get those jobs because you put your portfolio. And guess who you are competing with? It's global. Some chap in Canada, some chap in India, another chap in China. So let's start with how AI is shaping architecture and construction.
I would say that AI is just as much of a tool as Revit was to the older generation. So the same way they had to adjust and learn to use Revit from using manual drawing systems, it's the same way we just have to similarly adjust. As much as it can be an advantage to us, it can also be a disadvantage. And understanding that is getting people to really recognize AI as a tool, not as an enemy, not as something that's coming to take our jobs. Like you said earlier, architects cannot be replaced by AI. So as long as you understand that, you treat AI like a tool and not as a competitor. So you'd make use of it, you'd utilize it to have faster work processes, smarter work processes, not necessarily kicking someone out of the firm just so AI can take a particular position, but just utilizing it just as you would utilize Revit, just as you had to leave AutoCAD to use Revit more.
Architecture practice, as we all know in school, is art and science related, but in practice, clients appreciate the output part of architecture than the process. The advent of AI has brought that to light. Now we are seeing faster production of drawings, fully automation of our renders. Our processes are getting faster, and client now asks, what value do you bring? This brings us a challenge that architect must demonstrate value more than just the output. We have to show the client that we know beyond that. We have to take charge of that and drive the process. We have to show that there's strategy in whatever we do, not just to give the input-output process. The advent of AI has brought new skill demand. Now, processes like drafting, scheduling, clash detection is being taken by AI.
There are specific AI tools that are meant for architects that help us to generate multiple options and iterations. This speeds up the process. This makes making solutions and getting solutions much more faster. And right now, speed is very much valued because a client may want something immediately and you have to deliver. And then the BIM and BEM that we've been mentioning all day, it makes collaboration between clients, architects, and contractors so much easy. The BEM can even generate the annual energy of a building or a structure, and then you know where to cut back or how to redesign it in a way that will be more environmental friendly. And as for exposure, I would say we receive a lot of theoretical knowledge, but less practical experience. And this is limited due to factors like cost, infrastructure, and curriculum restrictions. I would love to see this technology embedded in the schools instead of just them teaching us, but it should be included in our design and studio base. This way, they will graduate students that actually solve problems using technology and not just having the knowledge.
I was asking them about AI in architecture, the experience, what they've done. Have they used it before? But I found out that most majority of them don't actually know about architecture, AI and architecture as much as it was supposed to do. And the minority that actually do, the ones that actually do, they implement it in such a way that they implement it very well to the extent that it solves the problem very fast.
I thought there's no better place than Nigeria Institute of Architects, Abuja chapter, to address this. And basically, I'm looking for contacts. I'm looking for people who were associated with the construction of Abuja. The questions I want to examine with this project are the following. I try to see if Abuja has worked as a project, if there's an identity that we can associate with Abuja, what are the feelings that it evoked, and what it tells us about Nigeria as a whole as well.
This is the Chronicles of Construction, the art of building, the soul of storytelling, ubiquitous.